Do you find yourself wondering how to handle your child's lack of respect without losing your temper? In this video, we'll introduce you to a powerful yet simple approach to managing difficult situations, avoiding unnecessary arguments, and fostering a healthier parent-child relationship. It's natural for parents to feel frustrated or even hurt when their children seem to ignore them. The immediate reaction is often anger, raising voices, or enforcing stricter rules. But does that really work? More often than not, it only leads to more resistance, misunderstandings, and emotional distance. The key isn't about exerting control or demanding obedience. It's about transforming the way you communicate and connect. Today, we're sharing a proven 6-step strategy to help you regain your calm, establish mutual respect, and strengthen your bond with your child. This isn't about quick fix parenting tricks. These are practical, actionable techniques that you can start using right away to bring more peace and cooperation into your home. If you're ready to change the way you interact with your child without yelling, punishing, or feeling constantly frustrated, then keep watching. You might be surprised at how a few small changes can create a dramatic shift in your relationship. Step 1. Master your emotions. The first and most crucial step in handling a situation where your child ignores or disrespects you is controlling your own emotional response. It's completely natural to feel frustrated, hurt, or even angry when your child doesn't listen to you. However, how you react in the moment can either escalate the situation or pave the way for a more constructive outcome. Instead of immediately raising your voice or making demands, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath, count to 5 if necessary, and remind yourself that staying calm is a sign of strength, not weakness. Your composure sends a powerful message not just to your child, but to yourself as well. Children are incredibly perceptive. They pick up on our emotional states. When they see you remaining steady and unshaken, it signals stability and confidence, which in turn encourages them to reconsider their behavior. Another important reason to regulate your emotions is that it prevents you from saying things in the heat of the moment that you might regret later. Words spoken out of frustration can wound deeply, sometimes more than we realize. Harsh criticism or threats may force short-term obedience, but they can also damage the trust and emotional connection between you and your child. By keeping your emotions in check, you create a model of self-regulation for your child. You are showing them that challenges can be handled with maturity, patience, and emotional control rather than impulsive reactions. This lesson is far more valuable than any punishment or reprimand you could give. When children witness a calm and composed parent, they learn that they too can face difficult situations without resorting to anger, yelling, or defiance. So, next time you feel the frustration rising, take a moment to center yourself. Remind yourself that your child's behavior is not a personal attack, but rather an opportunity for growth for both of you. Your calmness is your power. Use it wisely. Step 2. Show empathy without compromising boundaries. Once you've calmed yourself, take a moment to observe and understand what might be driving your child's behavior. Instead of reacting with authority or criticism, ask yourself, is my child feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or unheard? Children often express emotions through actions rather than words. Ignoring you or acting out may not be intentional disrespect, but rather a sign of frustration or an unmet need. Listening with empathy doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means opening a dialogue. Try saying, "I see that something is bothering you. Want to talk about it?" This approach helps your child feel heard, making them more receptive to your guidance. However, Empathy doesn't mean giving in. It's possible to acknowledge their feelings while holding firm boundaries. For example, I understand you're upset, but speaking disrespectfully is not okay. I know you're tired, but responsibilities still need to be done. When children feel understood, they're more likely to respect limits, not out of fear, but because they trust you. A little empathy goes a long way in strengthening your connection. Step 3. Set clear and consistent boundaries. No matter how patient and understanding you are, boundaries are essential in maintaining respect and structure in your relationship with your child. Children thrive when they know what is expected of them and what behaviors are unacceptable. Your job as a parent is to set firm but fair boundaries that guide them toward responsible behavior. Communicate expectations clearly. When setting limits, become but assertive. Explain your expectations in a way that is easy to understand, without threats or unnecessary harshness. Instead of simply saying, "You need to listen to me," clarify why a certain rule exists and what the consequences are if it's not followed. For example, in this family, we speak to each other with respect. If you raise your voice or use hurtful words, there will be a consequence, like losing screen time. I understand you don't feel like doing your chores, but being part of a family means we all contribute. If you don't complete your task, you won't be able to play games later. When children know the rules in advance, they are less likely to push back, and if they do, they can't claim they weren't warned. Consistency is key. One of the biggest mistakes parents make is setting boundaries, but not following through. If your child knows that your rules are flexible depending on your mood or level of patience, they will learn to test the limits. If you say there will be a consequence, stick to it. For example, if you tell your child they need to finish their homework before watching TV, but then allow them to watch anyway, they will start ignoring your instructions in the future. However, if they see that your words always match your actions, they will take your expectations more seriously. Boundaries teach responsibility, not control. Setting boundaries isn't about controlling your child. It's about teaching them that freedom comes with responsibility. When children learn to respect limits at home, they carry that understanding into their interactions at school, with friends, and eventually in their adult lives. They develop self-discipline, accountability, and a respect for others' boundaries. Remember, boundaries should be clear, so there's no confusion about expectations. Consistent, so they learn that rules are not negotiable. Fair, so they understand that rules exist for a reason, not just for control. When children see that rules are firm but fair, they are more likely to respect them not out of fear, but because they understand their importance. Step 4. Be the role model your child needs. Children don't learn from what you tell them. They learn from what you show them. As a parent, your actions speak louder than any rule, lecture, or punishment. If you want your child to be respectful, show them respect first. If you want them to listen, demonstrate that you are willing to listen to them as well. Your child is always watching. Even when you think they aren't paying attention, children are constantly observing how you handle challenges, conflicts, and emotions. When tensions rise, they watch how you react, whether you raise your voice, remain calm, or withdraw in frustration. Your response in difficult moments teaches them how to handle their own emotions. For example, if you lose your temper easily, but demand that your child stays calm when frustrated, the message they receive is confusing. However, if they see you handling stress with patience and grace, they will naturally learn to regulate their emotions the same way. Respect is a two-way street. Many parents expect respect from their children, but fail to give it in return. Respect isn't just about obedience. It's about valuing each other as individuals. If you dismiss your child's feelings, interrupt them, or talk down to them, they will likely mirror that behavior back to you. Instead, practice active listening when they speak. Make eye contact, acknowledge their feelings, and respond thoughtfully. This simple act reinforces that their voice matters, encouraging them to listen and respect others in return. For example, instead of saying, "Stop whining," "It's not a big deal, try," "I see that you're upset, what's going on?" Instead of ignoring them when they interrupt you, say, "I want to hear what you have to say. Let me finish this thought, and then we'll talk." Expect from them. You create an environment where mutual understanding and cooperation flourish. Consistency builds trust. The strongest lessons come from consistency between your words and actions. If you set rules but don't follow them yourself, your child will struggle to take them seriously. If you say, "Kindness is important," but respond to frustration with anger, they will imitate your emotional reactions instead of your words. To truly influence your child's behavior, align your actions with the values you want to instill. Want them to be patient? Show patience. Want them to be responsible? Keep your promise. Want them to handle disagreements calmly? Avoid yelling and name-calling. Parenting isn't about demanding perfection from your child. It's about demonstrating the qualities you hope to see in them. Every day is an opportunity to be the role model they need, shaping them into thoughtful, respectful, and emotionally intelligent individuals. Step 5. Create meaningful connections beyond conflict. Discipline and boundary setting are important, but they shouldn't define your entire relationship with your child. If your interactions are mostly about correcting behavior, your child may begin to see you as an authority figure, rather than a source of love, guidance, and support. To build a foundation of mutual respect, it's essential to foster positive connections outside of moments of conflict. Quality time strengthens respect. When children feel emotionally connected to their parents, they are naturally more inclined to listen, cooperate, and show respect. These connections aren't built during arguments or rule enforcement, but through shared experiences, conversations, and everyday moments of joy. Make it a priority to spend time with your child without an agenda, not to correct them, not to teach them a lesson, but simply to enjoy their company. Have genuine conversations about their interests, friends, and dreams. Engage in fun activities together, play games, go for a walk, cook a meal, or do a creative project. Laugh together. Humor is a powerful tool for strengthening relationships. These positive experiences create a deep emotional bond, making it easier for your child to accept discipline when needed. When they feel valued and understood, respect naturally follows. A stronger bond reduces resistance. When your child sees that you genuinely enjoy spending time with them, not just managing their behavior, they are more likely to trust your guidance and respect your authority. They won't see rules as something imposed by an external force, but rather as part of a loving relationship that values their well-being. Building positive connections doesn't mean ignoring misbehavior. It means ensuring that correction is balanced with love and warmth. Children who feel emotionally secure respond better to discipline because they know it comes from a place of care, not control. Step 6. Give your child space to reflect and grow. Once you've set boundaries and communicated expectations, allow your child time to process and reflect. Growth doesn't happen instantly, and real change requires understanding, not just obedience. Let them think instead of forcing immediate change. Many parents expect an instant shift in behavior after setting a rule or consequence. But the truth is, forcing a child to apologize or correct their actions immediately often leads to surface-level compliance rather than true understanding. Instead of demanding an instant response, allow them time to absorb, reflect, and internalize the lesson. For example, if your child speaks disrespectfully, rather than insisting on an immediate apology, pause and say, "I'd like you to think about the way you spoke to me just now. Let's talk about it again later." If they refuse to follow a rule, calmly explain the consequence and then give them time to experience it. Rather than repeating yourself or engaging in a power struggle, let the consequence do the teaching. Internal growth takes time. When children are given space to think about their behavior without pressure, they begin to develop their own sense of responsibility. Instead of following rules just to avoid punishment, they start to understand the deeper value of respect, accountability, and self-control. This approach also prevents resentment. When children feel forced to comply, they may resist even more. But when they are allowed to reflect in their own time, they are more likely to genuinely change their behavior because they see the value in doing so. Trust the process. Teaching respect isn't about controlling every reaction or demanding immediate perfection. It's about guiding your child with patience, trust, and consistency. When you create an environment where boundaries are clear, love is abundant, and reflection is encouraged, your child will gradually develop self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and a deeper respect for you and others. By balancing structure with connection, discipline with understanding, and authority with empathy, you create a lasting foundation of mutual respect that will shape your child for life. Conclusion. Teaching respect is not about control or enforcement, but about building connection, guidance, and leading by example. When parents stay calm, show empathy, set clear boundaries, act as role models, create meaningful moments, and give children space to reflect, kids gradually learn emotional regulation, responsibility, and respect for others. This process requires patience and consistency, but the result is more than just temporary obedience. It's a strong, trusting, and loving parent-child relationship. When children feel respected and understood, they naturally respond with genuine respect and cooperation.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.